Ben runs several tournaments. He runs DC and of course the Michigan Summer Championships, maybe some others I'm not aware of. Uh, and I'm very proud to say that when Ben was a college student at the University of Michigan, I was his coach. I was his first teacher, and I'll take credit for everything he's done since then. Okay, here we go. 9 point match. Very standard, simple opening. They're using a wonderful, incredible baffle box, which I highly recommend. It's backgammonlearningcenter.com. Well, Roberto's not using the baffle box, but Ben is, and that's common. Some people like it, some people don't. If you play in the international Russian tournament, you have to use a baffle box every time.
I've only got like you've got way more entries than me. I only played the three
If
first.
you're not familiar, they're using a chess clock. They have 18 minutes total,
And
which
how they
is
split them
2 minutes
up.
per match point of match. But every move you get 12 seconds before your clock ticks off. And of course, if you run out of time, you lose. So just like chess.
The pins out of this thing.
It's called the butterfly anchor, according to Michi's books on anchors. I love that name because it's neither here nor there. It's kind of flighty. It's not a low anchor. It's not a high anchor. It's just sort of in the middle, and it's not. It's better than nothing. That's a real choice there. Do you make your opponent's 5 point or do you make your own 4 point there? That's a very interesting choice. And I think because you're outboarded, that's a good choice. And I think a lot of people would have made their own 4 point there. And I really liked his play. When you have more checkers back, that anchor becomes very important that you don't get blitzed. And now he's in the game forever. When you make your opponent's 20 point, called the golden point, it's going to be very hard to get doubled out. And you certainly will almost never get primed or blitzed. So I really liked it. But it wasn't an easy choice. There was some good argument for making your inside point. Hit and make the anchor. Nice roll for Ben. You have to come in the two, so you just do it and then look around and see where your four is going to be. Anytime part of your play is forced, do what Roberto just did. Do the forced part first and then look around. He didn't have a whole lot of choices on the four. That was the only four that I saw. You're not going to break your midpoint. You're not going to break the points that you have and leave a dozen shots, even though you're not wild about being on your 2 point. It was the I call it FBL, forced by logic. All right. Looks like you have to make the 2 point. You could make, I don't see much option here. I would be stacking my 2 point. Oh, six. He played it 6-1. No, it's a 6-4. He's playing it illegally, isn't he? Am I seeing this wrong? Isn't that a 6-1 he just moved?
It was illegal.
Yeah. Ben pointed it out. It was an illegal move,
Yeah.
and both players are supposed to point that out. This play is very logical too, and it dupes the ones. It's a one to hit inside and a one, and that's something all good players watch all the time. If you can duplicate your opponent's numbers, that reduces the number of shots that they have and reduces the number of ways that you can get hurt. And of course, you're always worried about getting hit twice. And if you dupe ones, about the only way you get hit twice is with double ones, which is a lower. This was a very hard play to make. I would have made the bar, I think, but here you're getting hit with fours and ones, but he got away with it. I really want to see that play put in the computer. I'm not saying he's wrong at all. I'm just saying that I wouldn't. I don't think I would have found it, and that means that I have to learn something if it's right. That's the beauty of watching these matches. And some people like having XG feed right there. I think for educationally, the XG feed is better. We would know right away with the computer telling us what play was right there and by how much. Uh, but at the same time, there's no suspense. and, we're, and we spend the whole match judging the players on how good they're playing instead of the excitement and fun of the match. So there's pros and cons to both ways. I'm trying to see if I can see the XG feed in comments, but it's not showing up for me. Yeah, I think I can see the chat. If you have any questions or suggestions, if I'm, let me know. I can see the dice incredibly well. I hope you can too online. And they're using non-glare dice and larger dice. And in the future, we're going to recommend using a smaller board for the finals and for the streaming, because with the smaller board, you can get the camera down lower. Alex Ashinian sent me a list of several things that help streaming be better for the viewers, and that's one of them. And thank you, Alex, for all your contribution and help and suggestions on the streaming. Plus the fact that you're a wonderful commentator. I was hoping to be joined by KG or MCG this morning. It didn't get set up, but I like to set these things up in advance, especially on Sunday. I want to know who my co-commentator is and have it all set. And we're doing it a little bit wrong. I want to be a little critical of how we're doing this. We're just doing catch as catch can. I think that's what you have to do on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, because you never know who's going to be playing and who isn't. But when it comes to Sunday, I think we really need to set up who's going to be doing the commentary and for each match. Okay, we have a very quick cube, a very obvious cube, a very obvious pass, in my opinion. 2 on the bar. He can cover with 3s and 5s. Even if he doesn't cover, you'd have to hit next time. I don't see how this could be a take, but I love the fact that he's stopping and really thinking about it. And he agreed with me that to pass. That cube was closer to too good than it was to a take. And I don't think he had to double the roll before. I think that was very well done by both players. But again, later on when we put this in the computer and examine it, we'll know for sure. I've recorded all my matches here, so I know just what all my mistakes are going to be eventually. In fact, I'm even going to take a couple lessons from my buddy Perry, who's going to educate me a little bit on what I did wrong. I don't think you're ever too good to. I give a lot of lessons. I don't think you're ever too good to stop taking lessons. I mean, Federer, Tiger Woods, they all had coaches. Why shouldn't I? Why is not a double hit there? He did that awfully quick. I think I would have hit 2. Wow, he hit and continued. I would have hit off that 4-point. I don't know about that play. I would have challenged that one. And he did it pretty quickly. He hit and continued. God, it would be so tempting to hit off the 18 and off the 4-point. I would bet that play. I know a lot of people resent when I say, "Oh, I'll bet you," or "I'll bet that play," but most of us backgammon players and tournament players are bettors. We're a little bit of gamblers. We play for money. There's money involved in whether you win or lose the tournament. Now, some people say, "Well, that's bad for families and bringing children into the game." Well, life is a gamble, and I taught my kids very early. They played for who did the dishes. And they became very competitive and very good players, both in backgammon and in sports. So there is a philosophy that betting is bad, that gambling, I think, is bad. Going to Vegas and gambling, you can't win, and it can become a horrible addiction. But a little side bet and backgammon makes it fun. Try and play a chouette for nothing. See how much fun that is. It's my opinion, and I know people don't always agree. And if you have a stance where everybody agrees, then good luck. Oswald Jacoby had a famous quote. He was my first coach and teacher in backgammon and bridge. He said, if you're not playing for something, you're not playing. All right, 2-1. Come in on the 1 and bring the 2 around, or you get big in slot and say, okay, I'm going to commit to playing a back game. That might have been a cube there. He rolled awfully quickly. Where is the cube? I don't see a cube. It must be off the table. Obviously, it hasn't been given, but I really don't understand why. We should be able to see the cube somewhere. Oh, I see it. It's next to the baffle box on the upper right side. Okay. So why wasn't this double? Does he think he's too good?
I know you wouldn't tell her that to get me to double.
Does he think he's too good the whole time? Maybe that's it.
You're gonna pass.
Now he's thinking. Oh, they're joking and laughing. I like that. All right, now it's a big pass, I would think. Even if he makes the ace point, it's not a well-timed 1-2 game, and you really don't want to play back games. They get gammoned a lot. This game could easily win. He doesn't have that money. I wouldn't say it's a huge drop, but I would certainly pass. And he agrees. 1-1. Looks like they're going to take a little break here. And they should move the scoreboard. It should say 1-1 on the scoreboard. And they just did. Good. Ben changed it. By the way, when you play with a scoreboard, it's very important to also have a piece of paper and write the score down in case if there is ever a disagreement on the score, it's what's written on your written paper that's going to be accepted by the tournament director. Usually in a 9-point match, you're entitled to 1 5-minute break. Some tournaments with longer matches will give you 2 breaks. It has not been closely regulated. Again, I'm watching the live chat. If anybody has any comments, I see that we do have some people watching. Love to hear anything you might have to say about it, or any questions you have about the meaning of life or whatever. So I think Ben had a double earlier. And I think Roberto had a take. But again, that's something we can look at. Ben rolled very quickly in one position where I really thought he should be doubling. And I really want to see that 6-2 where he hit on the 18 and continued. And he could have hit on the 18 and hit on the 4, which I really think is right. I have a sort of a rules of thumb or concepts of play for the early game. You generally don't want your opponent to live freely on your 4 or 5 point. Even sometimes the 3 point you'll hit with a 6-3 or 5-4, particularly with a 6-3. So when you can hit off your 4 point and hit a second checker off the 18 point and put 2 up, I just think that's thematic. So either Ben missed the play or I'm a little goofy on that one, and it's not unusual that I'm goofy. I did also have the honor of playing and beating Jeb Horton last night. And I'm not saying it to brag because, again, I've lost 3 times. I'm sitting here, I'm a loser, but I did have some good wins. But I'm most proud of a bet I had with Jeb on a play where early in the game, your opponent came down with like a 4-3, and you have something like a 2-1. And the right play is to slot your 5 point and duplicate his 4s. And that's something I never used to do. The computers told us, and logic is telling us it's often right to slot that if you're duplicating 4s, and they have a lot of good 4s on the other side of the board. So duplication is a very big part of this game. I love what Neil Kazaroff said about duplication one time. Duplication is a strategy that gives your opponent huge jokers. So yeah, the downside of duplication is if they roll that doubles, it really kills you. But that's 1 out of 36. You can't be afraid of ghosts. Or as my good friend Antoinette says, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. You're gonna make the play and give him the joker.
Right.
And the only time I do this is
This is a very big play, slotting when your opponent has you outboarded and made the 2 point.
No, on the 1B. Good.
I'm not sure I would have done that. I probably would have just played 13-8,
Do I double up it? That way I can make her
but he got away with it. He's very happy he made that play now. He's got many ways to make his 5 point. Some rolls that pound on him and make the 4 point. Like a 5-2 makes the 4 point on his head. And you have, well, he has another option. He can make the 3 point and not leave a blot. Or you make the 5 point and leave 4 point and leave a blot. I would make the 3 point and have no blot, as opposed to the 4 point with a blot. It's a tough call. I would have made the 3 point. And he's punished for not listening to me. This is an ugly roll. You don't want 3 checkers on the 24. You don't like leaving shots, so he makes the big play. He could. I like this play. You get hit back more often, but you're taking your opponent off of a key place where your opponent would love to be. The 2, I'm splitting. And so is he. Nice play. Spread him out now while he's on the bar. Double 4s. Well, you start with making the 20 point, and then you look around. Probably move that checker off the 3. Oh, I wouldn't start there. Well, you could do that and make the 20 point, but the part that I think I know is making the 20 point. I might do both. What he did. Okay, that's how I start. And then I see where's the rest of them. Now you could make his play and come down and make the 9 point, or you could run off of your 3 point. I have a saying, when you roll doubles, find a good play and then look for a better one. I did not like that. I think the 20 point's more important than the 9 point, but that's just me. And he may well be right. Too much of a good thing. Again, that's the part I think you know you're going to make, and then you just run the back checker. That's all there is. Forced by logic.
Oh, wow. Oh, you took.
Oh, that's a tough cube to give at that point. It fell off accidentally. There's a saying, if you touch the cube, you must double, but that was an accidental touch. And by the way, if you can touch the cube all you want to, if you say you're adjusting, let them know that you're not really intending to double. Yeah, his 5 is easy. Where's the 6 is the question. So that's what he's looking at. It would seem to me that you come off the 18 point and then look for the 6, and I think he found it. I think you just go to your 7 point from the 18. If there's another play, I'm very curious to see what it could be. And he made it. Okay. First you hit, and then you decide. In the early game, and this is still fairly early, you have a hierarchy. You say, can I hit? Can I make a point, or can I do something strategic?
What could possibly go wrong?
It's as easy as 1, 2, 3, my friend Steve Sachs says all the time. All right, double 3s. Not a bad roll. Not a great roll. It's not that bad to give up the midpoint when you have that other point sitting there. I like this play. His other choice was to stack the midpoint and give up the 16 point. This looks pretty natural to me. I like what he just did. Huh. I really like the other play, but there's some logic to Ben's play. He's made his 2 point. When you make your ace or 2 point early in the game, you should tend to be thinking about playing a hitting game. When you think about your strategy, which you should always be thinking about, you have more of a hitting strategy when you have made a low point. Because you're not likely to be able to make a good priming game once you've made your ace or 2 point. So you really want to play an attacking game, generally speaking. Of course, man plans and God laughs. The dice gods may have other plans for you, regardless of what you think your strategy is. We come in with the 2. Why stack? I know you like to keep your builders out as much as possible, but see, I don't like that stack. I would have come in with the 2, but he could be right. Okay, this is a high anchor game where Ben is holding the 20 point. And as I said earlier, that's the golden point. You're not likely to get doubled too fast. You don't get gammon very much when you're holding the 20 point, and you almost never get primed. And Roberto is never supposed to double until he has at least a reasonable race lead, because Ben could always race from the 20 point. Now, it's a little different with 3 checkers back on there instead of 2, because you do get gammoned a little more, and it is a little harder to race. So it does change things some. It's time to make the 2 point or the 3 point. Yeah, I would slot the 2 and make the 3. Roberto agrees. Ben quickly gets out of there. It's a good time to do it when there's a blot on the inner board, because even if he hits, he's got game. I don't think he's going to hit. I think he's going to break this 10 point. Yeah, not. How many return shots are there? There's direct 2s plus 1s and 5s combined with 2s and 3s. This is way too loose when Ben has such a good board. He might play it all inside off the 4 point, but I would break the 10 point. Yeah, that's the other option, to hold your prime. That might well be right. I really don't know that for sure what I would have done there. I would probably break the 10. This is an interesting time to run. He's counting the race, which every good player should have a feel for whether he's winning or losing the race before you make plays like this. And better than a feel, you actually count. They're both very fast counters. They're both very good at this. My gut is that Ben is in good shape in the race, and this play may well be right. But then you have to look at the other side. How many rolls pick and pass? 5, pick and make the point. 5-2, 4-2, and 3-2 are killers. Double 5 is a killer. You look at all the rolls that could really kill you and how many there are. So if you're really up in the race, you race here, because it's going to be harder to race later. If you're down in the race, you simply stay back. I think Ben's got a little edge here. I could have counted while I was talking, but I like talking more than I like working. So even if he's up in the race, this is a little risky, but the question is, what's his alternative? His alternative is breaking his board or leaving a shot somewhere else anyway. So that's why I like that play. See, there's no play that's good or bad. Every play is either better or worse than the alternatives. So you must always consider the alternative. What can he do? Breaking your board is bad. Leaving a shots elsewhere is bad. That's why this play makes sense to me, because every alternative is pretty ugly too. Double 4s is, I think he has to take his chances. What else are you going to do? You're going to the odds of getting hit back are only 13 numbers. out of 36. And if you don't get hit, the game's over. If you get hit, the game's probably over that way. This is right. And if he doesn't get hit, the game's over. And if he gets hit, the game's over. And those are pretty good odds. 13 out of 36, double pass. Now, is he thinking, are you too good? No.
1 to 2.
Boom. I thought that was excellent play by both players. And the reason I think it's excellent is because I would have made those plays.
I'm heading the race. Like if I hit, I win. If
So
I
maybe they were terrible plays. I don't know. But
oh, I
my logic told me all those decisions were correct.
because you had to cover immediately. If you would have rolled the twos,
I had a big argument yesterday of how much luck there is in backgammon. And I shocked some people when I said, if you're equal players, it's 100% luck. If you have two exactly equal players, but even if players have the two same PR, they're not exactly equal. They're stronger or weaker in different areas. But when one player is a little bit better, then he's certainly going to win more. That's why we prove this is a game of skill. I think it was Rich Munitz that came up with the idea to prove this is a game of skill. Let one player make random plays and the other player make good plays and see who wins. That proves that there's skill, that it's all skill in the long run and even in the short run in that situation.
When you play on, it's hard to know when you're supposed to cube them out.
It's kind of hard to make your bar point here when you're volunteering a shot. Sometimes it's right. I think this play is right. Oh, there's that golden point. Ben, you were there last time and it didn't work. You should try something else, right? No. The surest way to play bad in backgammon is to play results. To change your game because the guy rolled too many sixes, I'm not going to give him a six. Or last time it didn't work to make the golden point, so I'm not going to do it this time. You got to play the odds, and you got to be. Somebody asked me, is it wrong to be an optimist or a pessimist? It's wrong to be either. You have to be a realist to play good backgammon. Overly optimistic or overly pessimistic are both going to bite you. They'll make you play too safely or too wildly. Once you make that anchor, it's easier to hit. Why is he looking here? What possible options are there besides that hit? Well, to me, it's you go out to the 18 here. This is too stacky for me. I don't like that. I would have gone to the 18 point. You get hit a lot when you go out to the 18 point, but you hit back a lot. You hit back almost half the time, and there's a much bigger reward for hitting a player off the 18 point than there is for him to hit it off the 7 point. If you know what I mean. Covers. He's now seeing that he could play completely safe and play a straight race by coming off the 20 point and playing safely and just playing for the race. There's this too in covering. But what about bringing 3 out and 1 down? I mean, 2 out and 2 down, or 1 down and make the 5. Yeah, that's my play. I come out with both. Okay, this is reasonable. I'm not sure I would have left the straggler. Slot. Okay. Now who's got the 20 point holding game? They're reversing. Now it's Roberto playing the holding game. I was saying that the 5 point holding game, 5 and 4 point holding game is so common and a tremendous number of cube actions from there. But a friend of mine and a very sharp backgammon player from Brooklyn, Phil Seiler, came up with a program where he did quite a study on an incredible study using AI that showed I was wrong, that it isn't quite as much as I thought. I think he came up with 6 or 8% of the cube action is with high holding games. And Phil Seiler has partnered up with me and Perry and Mark Higgins, my partners, on a Sage software program that you're going to hear more about in the future that uses AI. And we're going to get some help from Phil Seiler on our program. Very sharp, very sharp young man from Brooklyn. And I've met him in the Clinton Hill Club, played with him a few times there. I love that club. I love the Clinton Hill players. They come to my Jamaica tournament in September every year, which we're going to have again this year. There's brochures out on that. Not the biggest, not the most spectacular tournament in the world, but the most fun. Michi and Akiko come every year. David Wells, Bob Wachtel has joined us. Joe Russell, Blake Fleetwood. A lot of very fine players come to that tournament because Jamaica is just so much fun. Such a great vibe. During the finals, as people are screaming and yelling and cheering, it's not like other places around the world. As I mentioned earlier, you don't double your opponent when he's holding a high anchor unless you have a significant racing lead. Grant Hoffman came up with a formula, the rule of four, which includes that you must be up 15% in the race. So you count your pips, and if you have 100 pips, your opponent better have 115 for you to have a reasonable double, unless his board is crashed or there's a distribution reason to double. So that's why you're not seeing a double, even though it clearly looks like Ben is winning this game. He's right not to give the cube because he could leave a shot, but he also is not that good in the race, and eventually his prime has to break down and let Roberto out. I'm not sure this is a double. I'd have to count the race more clearly. 87 and 14. I think black has 101 and 6 times 8. Maybe he is up enough in the race, yeah. 30. Yeah, he does have enough. Question now is it a take? Does the score matter when you're winning 2-1? I don't think that much. I think all the take points and the logic is pretty much the same as if it was 0-0 or what we call a money game or unlimited game. So the take point in a race is around 21 to 22% in that range. And most people don't realize that holding the cube gives you an extra 18% winning chances in a longer race. So if the computer said that if you played this game out to the end and Roberto would win this game, say 30% of the time, well, he'd actually win probably 35% of the time if he had the cube. Give him an extra, it's another 18% or 1/6 more wins. So people think the take point is 25%, but that's the number at the end of the game. So when there's game left and you have value with the cube, it can go down to as low as about 22%. So Roberto's calculating all this. Now, Roberto's likelihood of getting a shot here is very low. And if he were to stay too long, his board's going to crash and his racing chances aren't that good. So it was a good double and a good pass, I think.
It's weird when I did the count the roll before.
Ben had a nice smooth prime coming in. It just wasn't likely to leave a shot. You know, it could happen later on, but then even if you leave the shot and you have 11 hits, that's only about 30%, 31% chance of hitting.
Yeah, two crosses.
It's 12. So it's just got down into like, if it favored me, but I think it's like it's really neutral. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't favor me.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, I had two less crosses.
Okay. We got,
I think
I don't think the score is 2-2. That's what the scoreboard says. I think the score is 7 away, 7 away. All that matters in backgammon is how many points you need to win by, and that changes your strategy, changes the take points and the gammon values. However, at 7 away, you're still pretty much at that 22% take point, and the gammon value, the cost or value of winning a gammon
Eliminates it.
is about half of what winning the game is. It's about 0.5. I'm not going to go into a whole dissertation on that right now, but that's something you should always know. What is the ratio of the value of a gammon compared to the value of winning and losing the game is a major, critical, important thing to know. And you can calculate that over the board if you know the match equities and all that other stuff. But for me, I've just got it memorized for 7 point match. At any score, I can tell you instantly the gammon value and the take point. If you play enough, why not save some time and brain energy by just memorizing it? Now, the ability to calculate is important if you're in a longer match and you're looking at a 4 cube or an 8 cube, or oh, this is pretty early double, but it makes sense. It's a good blitzing position, 3 checkers back on the bar. I would pass. Yeah. One of our backgammon learning center teachers, David Presser, at one point was the number one player in the world on the doubling cube, according to the BMAB statistics. And I asked David, how'd you get so good?
I'm okay with passing.
He said he's been using Pratt a lot,
Other side.
position, race, and threats. And in a recent, in DC, I allude to a lecture by Art Benjamin, who said he took lessons from David Presser for quite a while. And that's part of what David taught him, and also some shortcuts on the cube. So, what is Pratt? Position, race, and threats. Well, who has a better position? Who has better race? And who has more threats? If you've got all three, which is clearly what Roberto had in that situation, it certainly is a double and probably a pass. If you have two of the three, it's probably a double and it could be a take. If you have one of the three, or you can't get 2 points out of it, then you don't double. So he had position, race, and threats and gammon chances. I thought it was a clear double and a clear pass. One more checker in the zone, he might have been too good to double even. Now I'm going to, if there's a break, I'm going to go in there and tell these guys to start taking more cubes. It's more exciting. They're not making this more exciting for me because you like to have 2 cubes and 4 cubes for the fans. They're selfishly thinking about just trying to win. What about Phil? It's all about me, isn't it, guys?
Wish you were up one more point. then it would be easy.
If you're not sure who's on roll, look at the clock. That's what I do if I get distracted. Ben's clock is ticking, so he's thinking about doubling. And it was a reasonable thought. In fact, I might have doubled there, but those 2 checkers back on the 24 make it an easy take. So I'm a huge fan of Woolsey's law. Kit Woolsey came up with this years ago. You ask yourself, would I take or pass if I were my opponent? And if you would pass or you're not sure, you give the cube, let him worry about it. And if you would take, then you have to look at market losers. And then here again, John O'Hagan, one of our backgammon learning center teachers and one of the top great players of the game, says you look at market losers. And here Ben is thinking, if I hit him and he doesn't hit me back, or he doesn't roll very, very well, I'm going to lose my market. So I like that double. And of course, he did not roll a market losing roll. He's playing it big. He's got him greatly outboarded. He could just play. Oh, no, you're kidding.
I don't remember this one in Michi's book.
He's got a great sense of humor to even look at this play. A gammon go, which is when you don't care about getting gammon and you must win a gammon, maybe you might make a play like that. It's fun to look at, though. He's smiling. He's laughing.
That's sort of like
I might do that just to give my opponent some hope, get him excited that I would do something like that. A little humor there. But you know what? There's nothing to be criticized about looking at every possible play. Sometimes you make a ridiculous looking play and it turns out to be right. That banana split play where you hit loose and leave 2 blots. And even the play that Ben looked at some scores and some situations, that actually could have been right. Jim Pasco makes it every time. Jim Pasco would be mad that he can't get into a back game, so he might make that play. So you can make your bar point or you can hit. And again, hitting is usually preferable to making a point. You take away your half of your opponent's roll and take away some of his offense. This is easy. Comes in and hits. And now Roberto better perform. And he did. Comes in and hits. So Ben's double doesn't look quite that great now, but that's hindsight. This is an ugly roll. There is no good 6 on the board. So I think what you do is you come out off of the 20 point because you don't want your opponent to pound you there. So I think I'm coming off the 20, even though it gives them 6s and 2s. I don't see many plays that give duplications. Yeah, he's duplicating 3s there. It has to be this or coming off the 20, but I come off. This is my play. This is my play.
Look over here. My food like that. It looks like this is someone's shaving kit over here. It's like it literally looks like. I don't know what
Roberto
that
is. They're discussing something about the score. Maybe I don't know. I wish we had a microphone on the players. That would be fun to hear. Wow. This is what we call a flunk. Well, you make 2 inside points and hit. What else is there? Unstacks both those points. It's not terrible. He would have liked to do some other things, but this is not bad at all. Especially if Ben doesn't come in. 9 rolls out of 36. He doesn't come in. 25%. He doesn't come in. Now Roberto's got a big initiative here. Ben really wants to come in.
Come on, Anchor.
And he did with a good one. Come in and hit.
2, 3.
Sure. That's my reflex play, is to come in and hit. There's nothing wrong with your gut reflex reaction, but then stop and think about it after you do it. I don't know about that last 2. That's awfully big, but it might be right. It also might be right to go to your midpoint. Get another builder there. I don't like this play. Because you really not want to attacking. You're not thrilled to attack on the ace point.
Is there anything else?
Okay. Sure. Look at your gut play, then go back and start all over. I like this. I love the way his mind is working here. And now I think I just go to the midpoint.
Yeah.
His play isn't bad, though. Opponent's on the bar. You can't get hurt too much, but you're giving him some jokers like double 2, 5, 3. He's happy to come in, but it's not a beautiful 3 to play. Okay. Oh, yeah. Come out with the 3. What am I looking at? It's a beautiful 3. Yeah, I didn't see that right away. Beautiful 5-3. There's another play, Ben. Leave that checker there and come off of your 21 point. And he sees it now.
What now, Brown Cow?
There's the hit.
This is not really worth much because
He's looking at that. Boy, his mind is working exactly like mine. I look at the hit. He looked at the hit. I look at coming out. He looked at coming out. Ben must be very smart because he thinks like me. That's my play right there. He finally took a look at the play that I would have made. That takes care of 2 blots. This leaves way too much stuff, way too many shots. I think it's, here you just don't want to get hit.
I don't know. Backgammon's hard.
All right, Ben, that's it. Hit the clock. Or if I was playing doubles, I say to my partner, well, hit the clock and let's look at it.
I'm slightly ahead in the race, but not by a ton.
By the way, I had the pleasure of playing doubles with my very close friend and student, Blake Fleetwood. We won the first round. We played like champions. We lost the second round, and we played like champions. And how do I know? Because it was recorded.
Okay, well.
And we played under 12 PR both times.
Okay.
That's the play, Ben. Let's go. Dice on checkers count. 6-2 doesn't hit, doesn't make a point. Well, it does hit off the 2 point. Which, it's tempting to just come out all the way. It's tempting to slot the 5. It's tempting to hit. And I don't know what's right. Slotting the 5 looks pretty natural. It's more of a pure play. And he does not get away with it. That doesn't mean the play was wrong. I love players who make a horrible play and it works and they tell you how smart they are. I don't know how you can do anything but hit here. You don't want to just bury a checker. So you take your chances and hit, and he did quickly. And a dance. Ooh, this is a big swing roll. There's lots of rolls that cover and hit. First you cover, then you look. I like it. I didn't see anything else, actually. That's why I like it. we could be seeing a recube fairly soon. A 4 here would be huge. Did I say a 4 would be huge? Because it hits another checker. And the 2, you're blitzing now. I'm not sure exactly what you would do at the 2. You first of all, you look at jokers. You know he has to come in with 2s and 4s. So you don't give him any really good double 2 or double 4. And that's why I like this play. I think you have a shot at a recube pretty soon here.
You're gonna think about it now.
This is a tough one for me. Having those 2 checkers back on the 24, you usually have trouble recubing here. Also the score. Keep in mind he's winning 3-2. And if he recubes, yeah, I think he's right to roll. 6-4. You're blitzing. So for me, I go to the I see I don't do this. I think that's too pedestrian. I would have put a checker on my 7 point to go for the blitz and not worry about those back checkers. Because I don't think I have to get the back checkers out. I think I can double them out. Is he thinking he's too good now? Ooh, nice roll. Maybe he was thinking too good, and maybe he's right. That's something that most of us, including me, don't give enough thought to. This is easy. Come off the 20, can bring a builder in. 1. You definitely want to bring a builder in. 2, 3, and a builder in. Yes. Now you have more ways shooting at that 2 if he comes in at the 2. And if he doesn't come in at the 2, you can make it now with a 6-4. Now, can you get another builder? Yeah, but I don't like putting a checker on the 3 point. That's the only way to get another builder. So I would move a back checker here. Yeah, he's too good to double, meaning that if he doubles, Ben would absolutely drop, but he thinks he can win enough gammons here. Now, he wins a gammon. That's big. Win 4 points here and win it, be ahead 7-2. All right, just now you can maybe move to the 2 point. Yeah, I think I would have moved to the 2 point, but this certainly is reasonable. He feels he's got enough wood and enough ammunition shooting at the 2 point. I would have had another builder on the 3 point.
Yeah.
The odds of getting hit aren't that bad, and he's got 27 ways to come in if he gets hit. Ooh, that was close. And bingo. And cover with the 5. And the gammon chances now are 100% if he doesn't leave a shot. If he doesn't leave a shot and hit him, this is a sure gammon. So all he wants to do is play safely now. 2 checkers on the bar and your opponent has all of their checkers in, you win 40% gammons. But look, there's 5 other checkers outside. So there's no way to get off this gammon unless he hits a shot. So don't leave a shot. This is clearly right. Only double 6 and double 5 leaves a shot. Now nothing leaves a shot. That's all he looks at every time. Just don't leave a shot. This is automatic. Now again, he's in trouble where he rolls double 6, double 5, or double 4. But it's almost impossible to never leave shots. 6-5 is not great because now he has to roll a 1 or a 2 next time to not leave a shot. But that's the majority of the time you roll a 1 or a 2. Here it is. Here it is now. This is huge. I do not take the checker off because you don't need it. I clear from the rear. He agreed with me.
Right. Chance to get off
A
that
4 is monstrous here for the match. Huge roll. He got it. He got it. Not only does he save the gammon probably, he still could win this game. 5-3 forced. Ben needs a 5 or a 7. 9 doesn't work, does it? No, 9 doesn't work. Wow. This is what we call a containment game. Once you hit a checker, how do you contain it? And it's one of the trickiest games to play. Be honest with you, even XG doesn't play it well. He has to roll it out to find out what the right plays are.
This looks pretty good.
How many checkers does Roberto have off? 3, 6, 9. Does he have 5 checkers off? 10. Yeah, he's got 5 checkers off. Roberto's thinking about the recube. I don't think he can recube with 5 checkers off. Well, he could. He could. Again, Woolsey's law. Ask yourself, would Ben take? If it's me, I'm taking. How do you lose your market? Well, you lose your market with double 6, double 5, double 4, or any big number that doesn't get hit, you've lost your market. But that's not a lot of market losers. I don't think this is a recube. I think if he had 1 or 2 more checkers off, it's a recube. But with 5 off, Ben could easily win this game still. Cocked dice, you roll over. And he's right to ask. You don't just assume it's cocked. You ask your opponent to agree that it's cocked. Well, the 6 is forced, and the 1 is forced. And the 1 is forced. Okay. 5s, 1s, and 7s. There's the 5. Now where's the 2? I go to the midpoint. Get the maximum coverage. He does. He agrees with me. Get maximum coverage to make that bar point. And maximum coverage to hit this checker. You hit this checker 100% of the time unless you're very unlucky. Well, this is not an ideal position, but now I come to the 10, 11 point to get 1 more builder. My play is to come to the 11, but it could be wrong. He might want to lift and not get hit. I don't know what his hands are doing on that one. Yeah, that makes sense. That wouldn't have been my play, but I can see getting hit is disaster there. I would have come to the 11. You must hit. You just can't let him go.
I go to 11 this time too, or you're risking some double hits.
I don't know why that play. I would have come to the 11 as well. Now Ben's starting to look good again. I think I cover with the 2. I don't want to leave that shot. I'm going to cover with the 2, and I'm going to spread the outfield. I'm going to come to the 12. That's my play. It's exactly my play. Now you're supposed to slot the back of a 5 prime, but you don't slot the back of a 4 prime. This is usually wrong. This is too many shots and not worth it, but it worked out. Roberto's wondering how he got so unlucky because he really had this game. He was sailing home for a sure gammon if he didn't leave that shot, and that's backgammon. Now you do slot the back of the prime. You make the back of the prime. Wait, no. What?
Go after.
You can make a 6 prime.
I've only got 5 off.
Ben,
Why would I do this?
is he thinking about picking up the second checker more this way?
Walk up.
I think first you make the 6 prime and then you go for the second checker. If he had more checkers off, if he had 8 or 9 checkers off, then Ben's play might be right. You really need that second checker. But with 5 checkers off, Ben's going to be a favorite when he closes the board. As a matter of fact, in a money game, it's a bare, tiny pass. It's almost borderline with 5 checkers off if you have a closed board and a perfect bear off. So,
Might actually
which means that
be wrong.
Roberto's chances would be about 22% if Ben closes the board here
Can't matter.
with a good bear off. So you don't need that second checker. Making the prime was certainly right.
It's gotta be 0.0.
But you can't fault Ben for looking at it. He just scared me for a second. I thought maybe he didn't see the prime.
Give myself a quick save.
What an exciting game. This is the swing game of the match so far, because it could have easily been a 4-point win for Roberto, and it looks like it's going to be could be a 2-point win for Ben. Now, this is not going to be a perfect bear off with that checker down on the 3. So Roberto's chances are going to be more in the range of 20. Oh, that got to be a beautiful bear off now.
I can also say that, like,
Ben's a big favorite now. You take it off.
3.
I actually play 5 to 4 here.
I don't have to be
I know it's perfectly safe to play.
4.
That's my play, Ben. There aren't that many shots, believe it or not. And you get more checkers off and hold your position longer.
fast, I'm going slow.
Oh man.
All right, you're favored to win now. So
Jukes it.
you know what? I don't know what's right here. I really don't know. I'm not smart enough to know this play.
More likely.
But I know I do take the checker off because my opponent has a 2-point board. So even if I leave the shot, it isn't the end of the world. I clear the 5. One more checker off is very big here.
Yeah, it's true.
In the other play, you only leave a shot with 6-1 and 5-1 and only get hit 30% of the time.
Would have had an extra
Well,
checker
that's
off.
not a bad roll, is it? That's that good feeling. So you have to feel sorry for Roberto. I mean, I'm very, very good friends, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for both of them. But Roberto was about to win 4 points, and just disaster hit, and that's backgammon. It's like the whole card in
2 off here, but I'm not
in
that part. 1, 2, 3.
in poker where the guy just rolls a joker, gets a joker on that last card.
No.
That's what happened to Roberto. What a swing! 6-point swing game.
Correctly, it's
Ben wins 2, and he was
All right.
almost surely going to lose 4.
Gammon save turned into win somehow.
But we have a closer match this way. It's better for me.
4 to 3.
I guarantee you there's miscues somewhere.
What's going on with the scorecard?
I just didn't want to kill my cheese.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty
Oh.
sure taking.
I can't criticize the scorecard. It's one of mine from the Backgammon Learning Center.
Yeah.
They're using my scorecard and they're using my baffle box because I donated both to the USBGF for their streaming. You can go to backgammonlearningcenter.com and you can buy that scorecard, or you can buy that baffle box, or you can see me and I'll overcharge you. Okay, the hit is clear.
There are 2 spots left in the Joker Board tournament. Dos.
Josh Isaac, why the hell are you sitting there? Did you lose? You did? Well, pull up a chair and join me. I'm going to be joined by Josh Isaac. He's sort of new to commentary and backgammon, but he's so damn good at it. We're using him a lot. He's a lot smarter than he looks, and love to have you here. Who'd you
Appreciate
lose
the
to?
compliment. I lost to Mike Horry. He could do no wrong. It was too easy for him, and he just 9-0.
Yeah,
He just,
Mike
I
Corey, a
couldn't-
fine player.
Couldn't get a break. Anyway,
Mike's luckily to be here. He was wearing a back brace. He was in Istanbul and almost got killed in an Uber
oh my God.
in Istanbul, and you see him wearing that back brace. All right, I love this double.
Pointless
Quick
cube.
take, double shot here. He hits it.
It's not gonna be won by much.
I thought it was a double and a quick take. Or as Steve Sachs says, if it's not a take, it's a mistake.
I would say so.
Well, Josh, you missed some really great action here, especially this last game.
I just saw the end of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is that a super quick take because not taking it would put him at 4 away regardless? So it doesn't, you don't lose much. Is that why? Or it's more just the position?
I
You got
didn't.
your
I
nice
didn't
goal.
even look at the score that much. It was just there was just a lot of game left.
He's got a clear goaltender, advanced anchor.
Yeah,
Seems easy.
just a lot of game left.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I invented something called reverse Woolsey's law.
You're allowed to.
If your opponent doubles you and you're not sure it's a double, then take it.
The strong players who just
So I wasn't that sure of that double, so I just grab it, and that's exactly what Roberto did.
We're going to call that Simber.
Well, it's
Simborg's law?
no, I because it's very similar to Woolsey's law. I call it reverse Woolsey's law. There is a Simborg's law already. I'll give you that one later.
Oh, yeah, I'm curious.
Do I? If I do, I don't.
Simborg's law is always play somebody worse. No, Simborg's law is a little different. It says, ask yourself, if you're not sure what checker play to make, ask yourself what you think your opponent would hate to see you do, and then do it. Put yourself in his shoes. It's similar to Woolsey's law.
That is excellent.
And same
advice.
thing with the doubling cube. Ask yourself, if you're not sure if double, if you were on the other side, would you like to see this cube? If you really hate it, then give the cube. If it wouldn't bother you that much, then don't. So it's a final fail safe.
Yeah.
But the main thing it does is you see the game from your opponent's viewpoint. You see the game looking at what the black checkers think.
Mhm.
And most of us don't do that enough.
Yeah, I think that is often overlooked. That's one lesson I've been learning little by little I mean, we always look at what our opponent can roll, can't roll, but sometimes psychologically put yourself in your opponent's shoes. And
Absolutely.
everything you just said, would they want this? What do they want? What don't they want?
Right. And your goal is to be as nasty as possible, to hurt him as much as you can.
That's not kind.
What would he really hate? Do it. It's just like marriage.
I wouldn't know.
I would. I failed at 3 of them. I won't say I failed. I had 3 great marriages. I succeeded at 3 of them. Okay.
What's
When
the
to come
brace?
off the anchor. A big part of the reason you come off the anchor is if your alternative plays are lousy. If he stays on the anchor, he's either going to come off his midpoint or go deep in his board.
I think I'm counting 117 for white.
It also blocks
If I'm wrong.
Yeah, I like coming off the anchor here because I hate every other play.
Original, or I came in from the bar. I came in from the bar, right? That's
Yep.
the one.
But the anchor is your safety zone for not getting gammoned as much.
think
See, I
he's-
hate this play. I would have come out, and it does. Oh, that's a very nice roll for Ben. Yeah, look at it a while, Ben.
I think Roberto was still behind in the race after the 5s. I could be wrong. Maybe that's why he stayed back.
You're a fast race counter, aren't you? Have you practiced that hard?
I'm extremely fast, and I'm usually accurate about 30% of the time.
It's minimum shots and it duplicates your.
I have practiced. I use cluster counting, which usually the fast counters use cluster counting. I very much recommend it. But yeah, sometimes I pride myself on how fast I am, and then I'm often off by about 10 or 20 pips.
Okay, though. Got some time.
Cluster counting by Jack Kassane is there's a good article on that. You can get it at bg.com, bkgm.com, backgammon galore, or you can get it from me. I give it to all of my students. But I also use colorless counting a lot. Have you tried that yet?
No, I think I just heard about that the other day, and it confused.
my.
the
I'll teach it
crap
to you.
out of it.
I
Gladly.
I invented it. and it works great. Art Benjamin uses it. Kit Woolsey uses it.
Who are they?
Yeah, who are they?
No, if they use it, I'm happy to learn it.
Well, I'll give you a little lesson on it when we have time. I've got a video on that. If anybody wants to see it, email me and I'll have a video on how to use it. Saves a tremendous amount of time. Okay, so what we see is a pretty static position here. We're down to, but you know, the race is still close enough to where Ben can't just easily bring this home. This is he has to break the bar here. You don't leave a shot here.
Yeah, he's going to have a hard time clearing the 0.6 away. That's he's already worrying about that, I think.
I would be worried. He would love something with a 2. Clear the back point. Make the 2 point. You don't have too many options here. You have to make the 2 point.
I spoke to Ben the other day, or maybe it was just yesterday, asked him how he was doing, and he kind of had this little glimmer in his eye saying just that he felt like he's been insanely lucky. I mean, obviously he's playing well. He's an exceptionally good player, but he kind of had that little backgammon glint in the eye of, I've been killing it and rolling well.
Yeah, he's having a great tournament. Here he is with 1 loss in the main, and he's in the semifinals of the Masters. He plays Adrian Denelko in the semifinals of the Masters, and the winner plays me. So we'll see that match later on.
Excellent.
I look forward to playing Ben or Adrian.
That must be exciting to be in the finals of that.
Oh, I'm thrilled.
Big shake.
And I got there without any good rolls.
No hit.
Gets it.
She's no hit.
Wow. Yeah, you don't want to make that point. Why are you even pointing at it? I could make this point. Yeah, but you're not going to do
All right. Well, Roberto deserves some luck after last game. He got very, very unlucky last game. This isn't over, though.
This is karma coming back.
Now it's over. Now it's over.
Yeah.
Oh, he did the cube move that I do. I love that move where you put it and you kind of slide it over. That's my favorite cube move. If you're really good, you can flick it with your
Why
finger.
don't you, no book has been written on cube moves. You ought to write a book on
I
that.
think it would be a short pamphlet.
Mark Olson did a video on sly checker moves.
I actually responded to that video in the comments with that cube move.
Oh, you did?
And it was, I told all my friends, he responded to my comment saying, wow, Josh, that's a great thing. And then I told all my friends and family that Mark actually responded to me.
Mark has some wonderful videos out there from Galaxy. He did a lot of good teaching videos. And he's got some very good books. I love his cube from beginner to badass. Is one of his first books. It was a very, very good book. And his most recent book that he wrote with Mochi is an incredible book. So if you really want to learn this game, there are some fantastic new books that have been written. Some of the old books are great too.
I have a couple of Mark Olson's books. I read Pure Strategy, and then Cube Like a Boss I've read 2.5 times. I think I have to read it about 3 or 5 more times before it fully sinks in, but it's incredibly helpful. Camera is, we don't know if the camera's or not. They're not going to tell us.
If our camera works?
Yeah, yesterday it was saying if it was on or not.
Oh, we don't know if they can see us.
Let me bring.
Well, good. I can take my shirt off and relax. It might excite some of the audience.
It's the blue hour.
Okay, it's 4 away, 5 away.
I'll bring up the chat.
And Roberto is leading. They each get a 5-minute break. There was a break before. I don't know who called it, so this should be the last break.
Camera is on, by the way. Hi, everybody.
So most people know me. I've done a few commentaries in the past and been playing for 70-something years, but you're new to this game. All of a sudden, and you're an open player, it's very strange to see a guy who hasn't been playing very long playing in the open. What happened?
They forced me.
I love Roger Federer's commencement speech where he talked about he won 80% of his matches, but he only won 54% of the points that he played. So only wins slightly more than half the time, and you have to be able to accept that and go on. But for the most part, we have people like Roberto and Ben in the game that know how to have fun, and they're here to enjoy the game. And if you can win along the way, that's the icing on the cake. Okay, look at them laughing now. Let's
They're
go.
certainly having fun. I can give you a lesson later if you want on how to be bitter.
I can use that. I used to be bitter. By the way, I wrote an article about never complaining about the dice or luck. And I wrote that article
Absolutely.
25 years ago. And I have never once complained about luck or the dice ever since
I'm
then.
also a big believer in that. Luck's part of the game, so it happens. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to feel good about it. It is unbelievably frustrating and aggravating sometimes, but to complain about luck in a game where luck is a major factor is a little silly. I agree.
Well, there's other reasons why. Number one, I think it's insulting to your opponent. You're suggesting to him he's winning because of luck.
Right.
And number two, you start focusing on the dice and it throws your game off. And number three, it makes the game less fun.
Yeah.
You start thinking about bad luck and you're not going to enjoy the game as much. We're not playing this for any reason except that we love it and it's fun. And that takes away the fun. Okay, let's focus on this game.
Yes.
This is a big, big edge right now for Roberto when your opponent has 4 checkers back. Even though Ben does have his 4 point, that helps. That's what stopped him from doubling at this point. And 4 checkers back to 1 checkers back means a huge edge, but no points in the inner board. It's called a pointless double, which John O'Hagan, I think, came up with that in one of his articles. It might have been Kit Wilsey.
And what about cube strategy at 4-away, 5-away?
Now,
I don't think it's hugely different, except that the player who's 4 away, when he turns the cube, gammons become tremendously helpful. He wins the match. So his gammon value is higher. So the cube actually helps the leader here a little bit more because of the gammon value.
Yeah, it's
Is
one
that
of
what you
those-
were thinking?
Yeah, I've heard it's one of those weird scores where the leader can be, I think, slightly aggressive in gammonish.
If it's a
situations.
gammonish position.
Yeah.
And Art Benjamin, and I just learned this in his theory, in his lecture a couple of weeks ago in DC, he considers 10% a gammonish position. You have to have at least 10% gammons. If it's less than 10%, and 10% seems low to me. I wouldn't call it gammonish in the past unless it was around 15%, but he considers 10% gammonish. And that changes your whole cube action theory and some of your checker play.
Now stepping up.
When
Go
you
ahead.
start the game, you're 14% gammons. So you're starting off in a gammonish position.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you.
I didn't know what if I the one.
Yeah, from the opening roll, you're going to get gammon 14%, and so is your opponent.
from here.
Oh, that's a hard thing.
And what if it looks like Ben's not wanting to leave a checker back in Roberto's home board? Does that hurt him a little bit because it makes it a little easier for Roberto to bring in those checkers?
Yeah, but when you have the advanced double holding game like this, you get your shots sooner and you can do damage faster. Late in the game, you really don't want to be up high, but earlier like this, it's still okay because your opponent has to clear the midpoint. And for sure, you don't get gammon too much with high anchors. But then again, it's easier to come home after you clear the midpoint. That's the key.
Right.
Don't hit.
5-2. Oh, yes. Thinking about hitting.
Yeah, this is where you don't hit because you're already way up in the race, and hitting may actually help your opponent's timing and put a checker further back. And it looks like he agrees. Yes. So you don't always just reflexively hit your opponent.
Yeah, that definitely takes a little learning to undo that reflex.
Yeah, because hitting's so much fun.
It really is. But leaving 5 blots around is not.
Okay, so the whole focus for Roberto is how do I clear that 13 point? Once that's done, he's won the game. And I say he's won the game because it'll be a double and a pass if he can clear that 13 point, even with that double holding game. That high holding game is only effective while he still has the 13. So that's the focus. Make the 2 point. So he could have cleared his 9 point, but that 9 point is a landing spot. Makes it easier for him to clear the 13. So you focus on the key issue. I learned that in an interview with Matt Cohen-Geyer, which I thought was very insightful. I interviewed a lot of the top players in the world, and Matt certainly is high on that list.
He has a
I
chance.
asked him why, you're great at math, you have incredible memory skills, and you're very intelligent. Which of those help you win most? He said, none of those. My ability to focus on the key issue. That made him also a very fine chess player. He was a chess champion as well
Oh, I
in
didn't
high
know that.
school.
Does not surprise me. Speaking of clearing the 9, I think Roberto's thinking of doing that right now. And he did.
I'm not sure I would have. I'm really not sure of that play at all. I like having the 9 to come down, but again, the alternative was pretty ugly. I wouldn't bet that play.
Looks like Ben's going to be breaking one of his 3 strip points there soon. You can't hold those forever. Oh, but he will for another roll.
Ben does not need to hold the 13 point when you hold the 18 point. So I'm not sure you should have broken it earlier. Because right now it would have been very awkward if he rolled a 1. I see no reason to leave it.
Pulled everything forward.
This is all about that midpoint. He's thinking about volunteering a 6. That's 17 numbers plus the 8s. 5, 3. That's 19 numbers. And double 4 makes 20 numbers. So you can't volunteer. That's just too many numbers that get hit.
Am I correct in thinking also because the cube is in the center, you less likely to do a pay now?
I wouldn't have done it either way.
Yeah.
Just too many shots. So you asked about that double high anchor that Ben made. It's looking pretty good right now. I like Ben's position. It's very hard to
Oh,
bring
he's going to
home.
leave something right now.
Well, now you have to volunteer that 20 shots. Now I think he has to come off the midpoint and play off the 6. I just don't see an alternative to this play. And if you get away with it, now you've cleared the major point. So I see 20 shots here. He's thinking about a cube. If you hit, you don't always win, is the problem. If you had a closed board, it might be right to double with 20 versus 16. But again, it's not a real gammonish position. So if it was more gammonish, Roberto might have thought about doubling.
Looks like he is thinking about it right now.
I would double if I was Roberto. I think just clearing that point, it's going to be. I think you lost your market. There's not enough shots if he gets away with this, and he clears the point with a lot of rolls, 5s and 7s and 9s. I would double, and I'm not sure I'm taking. Let's see, give him 2 points, get some 2 away. I think I'm passing. I love the double.
What if you had a closed 5-point board? Then would you take?
Wow.
I'd be more likely to. I think I'm passing here. You know, another thing is your opponent being 3 away is that Michi calls that a very awkward position to be in.
Yeah.
I don't mind him being 3 away. I don't like him being 2 away.
Certainly
So I
not
would-
winning.
I agree with this cube action very much. A double and a pass. Way too many market losers not to double, and it's really would hurt a lot more to lose 2 points than 1 point at that score. So this is the beauty of match play. It's so much more intricate and interesting because of what the effect on the gammons and the effect on the away score that you don't have in heads up unlimited money play.
Yeah, it really does add a whole other level of strategy.
Yeah, for 25 years, I played this game and never played a match. And the first time I played a match, I fell in love with it. And that's when I started taking lessons seriously and started going to tournaments. It's just so much more fun.
I'm not sure you realize that.
All right, 3 away, 5 away. Both players at a not great match score. Speaking of strategy,
Ooh,
that's pretty
make
huge.
both points. Make both points. I love this. This is a super blitz. Okay, now Roberto only has 1 game plan. That's blitzing. Not enough checkers in the zone to really have a great blitz. You're supposed to
now
have,
he does.
supposed to have at least 10 checkers in the zone for a really good blitz. If he doesn't hit here, This could be a double,
Oh, bite
Boom.
me.
and it could be a pass. I'm pretty sure I'm passing.
Ben has pass face as well.
There's
I
10
think.
checkers in the zone and a checker on the bar. It's usually a pass. The score does have an effect on this because the recube would be huge here if Ben takes it and anchors. But Ben, again, let's talk about position, race, and threats. All three favor Roberto. I don't think there's enough to take here. He's either going to cover or hit again, or he could hit and cover, and then it's curtains.
KGB Backgammon says big take per XG 315.
Well, that shows you I'm wrong. I would pass this.
Assuming he's talking about this right now.
Who said that it was a big take?
KG Backgammon and Matt Congeyer says, yeah, makes sense.
Well, both
should
of those
be-
guys, KG and Matt Congar, are you going to believe them and XG, or are you going to believe me? I'm passing.
MCG says should be a pass if he played 13-10 instead of 6-3.
I would love to have them doing commentary with me. In fact, I had invited them, but they told me that we couldn't add a remote commentator this morning for some reason. Nothing against having Josh here, but I would have liked to have KG or Matt Congar discussing it.
I am not
But
offended.
I must tell you, I would have blundered this and passed it. Ben is doing the right thing. By the way, they both are down to only 2 minutes on the clock. You run out the clock and you lose. Nobody good does that, except Mochi did it recently.
I did it recently.
That could be a huge take.
He did pass. So Ben made the same blunder I would have made.
No, it's okay.
That just looks so scary and so gammonish.
Right.
If you hit,
Lose the whole match right there.
so before we even
But
pick a
you
point,
can't.
I was
You decide if it's in the
cubing
middle of
when
your
it's
cube.
in the
When
middle.
KG and Matt Kogar are two of the better players in the world, and XG is even better than they are,
I think it's
says it's a take.
It is too.
Actually, KG said actually it wasn't a double. 5-3, you were right, Matt. Both.
It's just that your recube take.
I don't understand the rest of that, but yeah, apparently it
He
wasn't
made
even
the
a
better
double.
checker play. Yeah.
Man, I'm supposed to redouble.
And Alex confirms the recube vig was huge
Still, it's
at the
most
score.
normal three-way score. This I know.
Yeah, I thought about that recube. I think I mentioned that it would be a huge recube if he can anchor, but I still chickened and passed it.
three away, like
Ooh, this is a great roll.
Yeah.
One of your best rolls there, a double ace.
Ship it and see what happens. Ship the shark.
Followed up by a lousy roll.
I'm assuming he's still not. Roberto's almost definitely not going to cube at this point unless
that's just something
he really wants to put it on the line. Although even a gammon 2 cube, he doesn't lose the match. So could he double, or most people at 2-way wouldn't even consider it?
You always should consider it, and there is a point where it's right to double, but it's got to be towards the end of the game, and it's got to be very hard for your opponent to get in a redouble because you redouble to 4. The good news is, though, that if he doubles and gets redoubled, as long as it's not a gammon, he still doesn't lose the match. So the take point for Ben is still going to be in the 20s, somewhere around 20%. So if your opponent is down to 18 or 17 or 16%, it's right to double, even though you know you're going to get an automatic redouble back.
At this point, he might even win an undouble gammon for everything.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If you have gammons, you hang on to the cube. And he does clearly have gammon chances here.
If we'd have to fix 3, you're going to fix the checker.
Sometimes you're too good to double and it could still be a take. It scores like this. It's really fun. It only happens in match play. You could be too good and a take.
I've seen that a couple of times, and it blew my mind.
I don't fault Ben for dropping that cube. It was very scary. It looked like the whole match could end, but he absolutely has to learn more about that, just like I do. Ooh, this is tricky. Well, if you don't hit, you're leaving lots of shots. That's the problem. You make the 5 points, so you have to hit. Plus the fact that what's his game plan? He's going to have to play a back game. He'd like to get hit back.
Yeah,
Make it
maybe.
heavy. That's all you can do.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to commit to the back game yet. Obviously, certainly doesn't have the timing for it. Probably love a 2-1 or certainly a double one would be lovely.
Yeah, you get gammoned a lot less on the 2-point than from the 1-point, and you get primed out much less. So, given a choice, usually you want to make the 2-point,
Now
your opponent's 2-point.
You jumping out or hitting on the ace here?
I'm jumping out.
Yeah.
I have a religious reason not to make the ace point when my opponent's in a back game.
Religious?
Was that
It's a religion.
Your spaghetti thing?
And my religion, as you all know, I'm a Pastafarian. I'm
5 for sure.
trying to convert Josh here into my Pastafarian
is
religion.
this legal? What he's doing, by the way? I don't think this is a legal play. I think he already played the 6.
Oh, sorry. I guess it was 6 for sure.
Yeah, there we go.
Or was it here? I
Don't be such a stickler.
I should never said that. Sorry.
Wait, no.
I think it was.
What just happened?
It must have been. Yeah.
There's the 5.
Yeah, they're talking about it.
Put it
Yeah,
back in
it's
the
getting
wrong
weird.
place.
Yeah, okay.
So Ben's thinking about going all out kamikaze back game, or he's thinking about should I be playing to save the gammon?
They're pausing the clock to discuss what the position was. So was that square checker on the 7 or the 8? I think
Play the 5 from there.
it certainly wasn't on the 6.
I think it was on the 7.
Anyone in the chat?
That's gonna be my go-to.
I'm pretty desperate straights here. This is a very tough position for Ben to be in. An untimed low holding game that he wants to convert into a timed back game. It's not an easy thing to do when you need about 100 pip timing. You need to be down about 100 pips to have a well-timed 1-2, 1-3, or 2-3 back game. That's according to Walter Trice's book, Backgammon Boot Camp, which I think is one of the best books ever written.
I'd come in and hit.
Coming in on the 5 and hitting is an idea.
Why would you come in on the 2? Just to safety the checker in the outfield? I guess that's what he wants to do.
Because you don't want to get attacked on the 5?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have come in on the 5 no matter what.
Big numbers come out.
So Ben's play is now going to save a lot more gammons by making your opponent's 3-point.
Ooh, hitting back is
And now
pretty
he gets
huge.
gammoned a lot more by getting hit. So ignore that last remark of mine. Open mouth,
Oh.
insert foot.
There you go. Probably won't.
You don't want to play a 1-3 back game with this timing. I think you got to
No.
come in on the 3 and safety.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I would safety.
What about stepping up to see daylight?
No, I just say I want to not. I would safety the checker. I would say, okay, I want to lose 1 point this game. I don't want to lose 2. This is a game that's not a winnable game, so I don't want to get gammoned. Stepping up has a lot, has merit, but I know a Pasco would slot the 5-point. Oh yeah,
Oh, look, he's
talk about a
going-
Pasco play.
going big brain.
Ben, your clock is winding down. That's that was the play to me.
Yeah.
You say, I can't win this game. How do I not get gammoned? Stay in the match. Got about 16% chance of winning the match if you lose 1 point this game. That's not terrible.
Time continuing to tick down, less than a minute and a half for each player.
Yeah, we're going to see speed gammon now. That's fun. Speed gammon is one of the side events that I love. It's at most tournaments now.
Do you really?
Oh, I love it. It's fun. One of my favorite events.
I'm not in that boat. I like to think. I'm a thinker.
Oh, the more I think, the worse I play. Whoa, there's a great roll for saving gammons. Now the gammon chances went way down, and at some point Roberto might actually have a cube. Now you have to make the ace here,
That is pretty huge.
and you have to make the ace.
Gonna get an indirect. Oh, maybe not. He could save to the ace, but that
no.
seems weak. Yeah.
You would absolutely do this.
3-1. He's alive.
Now we're in the position where Roberto might actually have a cube. Your winning chances for Ben are pretty low. The gammon chances are no longer that high. I would have stopped and thought about the cube.
Yeah, didn't put.
Ooh,
Oh,
well, he points on him. Yeah.
All right,
Now the gammon chances went back up again.
2-5 is duplicated to hit. Big roll. Gets the 2. Oh, he makes his board. Still in a lot of danger here.
He's still gonna roll on.
Oh, wow. What a roll. Double 5s. Has to leave it in the outfield. Has to leave a direct shot.
I move 3 checkers off the 6 point and then decide where my last one is because those are forced.
That's exactly what he's doing. Oh, he's just moving all 4.
He already knows.
You wouldn't want to hit here? Oh, I guess you wouldn't want to leave the double shot.
First, you move those 3 checkers. You do what's forced always, and then look for the last one. So
Less
you
than
know
a
you
minute.
have to move 3 checkers off the 6 point.
Less than a minute. 54 seconds.
What a roll!
Oh, Ben's sitting back now. He's thinking of doubling. He doesn't have a lot of time to think about it.
Well,
We've
the
got-
5s are duped. The 5s are duped. There's only 15 ways to roll a 5, so he's not favored. Oh, he
That's one
got
of
it.
them.
Now Ben could be too good to double. I would split with the 1.
Less than a minute for Ben as well.
I like this play.
Big roll. He gets it and jumps out.
In and hits.
And hits.
Wow. Oh, we've had some swings in this game.
Oh,
Oh my God.
their adrenaline has got to be pumping with almost no time on the clock. He can make the 2 point as well.
No, you can't.
He can't. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I misread that.
Oh, you could illegally.
Illegally. I was going for the illegal play. Wow, what a swing.
Now the gammons are back in play again. Oh, look at this roll. 1, and he's going to leave a
He
shot.
has to leave another shot.
This is a huge roll right here for the match. Very big roll.
That's it. Oh,
Yes!
gets at least 1.
Wow. Oh
Oh.
my God, what a game we play. Only backgammon brings you this kind of drama.
And
Whoa,
goes
he
out
comes in.
immediately. Ben already laughing about it, smiling.
So I split them all up, baby. I play it so big.
6-4 block. Oh, I can do something else.
You get gammoned a lot, baby, if you split them up too much. I don't know. It's probably wrong to play it that big.
50 seconds on the clock, ticking
Yeah.
down.
I'd probably come out to the 7 point. No,
No, he wants to block.
no,
No.
no. That wasn't on my list. That was not on my list.
6-4. Oh,
Sure,
not leaving,
much
just
better.
leaving him the 6s.
Much
Yeah,
better. You
gets
got
it.
Back checker. There you go.
Now is he going to
So
double?
now you got to play one of the toughest games in the world with little time on the clock.
Oh,
Oh,
gets
he comes in again.
He's got to come out rather than leave another block. Is he going to double here? Yep.
Come on.
So much. 22.
Run
He's
out of
looking
time.
at the clock to see how
Don't
much
run out of
time he has.
time.
40 seconds.
Oh my God. Ben.
There it is. Cube's over. It's going to give
Woo.
Roberto snatches it up immediately and hits.
What a game.
Wow.
That's got to stay there.
Give yourself 6 away. No, I would have put the front checker. Give a 6 to cover that play point.
Oh, will it drop? It drops, but not to a 5.
Yeah, I would have liked to make that point with the 6, but maybe making it isn't that critical. Oh man, hold your breath, baby.
38 seconds.
Oh, he comes in.
Comes. Wow.
I come out. You don't want to be hit inside where he can make the point. You rather hit outside.
He hits. And assuming, even if Ben wins this game, both players are going to continue with very little time on their clock. It should make the next one incredibly exciting.
I love this. This is fun.
Yeah, unless you're one of the players.
Even if no, I'd love to be one of the players. I love this.
Oh, slots. That's pretty
I
big.
love the slot. I think the
Doesn't
slot's
hit it.
right there.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it's
Especially
absolutely right.
with the blot. Covers it.
Ben's a big favorite to win the game now.
They can breathe a little bit. Certainly not going to waste any time on their clock in the next few moves.
He'd like to dance here. Everything leaves a shot but an ace. There's
And he
the
gets
ace.
it.
Boo hit.
Wow.
Oh,
Look
Ben's
at
smiling.
that smile on Ben's face. I would have that same smile.
Roberto does not have that smile,
All right. He'd like to dance here.
understandably. That's a couple times he's
He's
had
an
it in
ace
the
or a
bag.
deuce. He got the deuce.
Wow.
This game has been. All right, that gets him off the gammon. So here we go. We're going to have a close match with both players almost no time on the clock to think. Remember, you get 12 seconds free every move, but still, that's not a lot. And the game can be very intricate at this score. 2 away, 3 away is what Mark Olson calls gammon go light.
All right, 6, 7.
So what you do is, if you're Ben, is you play.
Look at both of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both of them loving the back and forth.
Hey,
Exciting.
this is their turn,
Exciting
man. I
match.
appreciate it.
Exciting game.
Okay,
We had
spot on, man. That's a
two
pleasure.
monstrously swing exciting games here. So this is 2 away, 3 away. Gammon go light, which means that Ben should be playing a little bit more aggressively,
Good trophies.
and Roberto should be playing a little bit more safely
Well,
relative to the cube. However, with the cube unturned, Roberto could win the match with the gammon, and Ben can't.
no, I guess the OG was.
So it's the cube in the center. Gammons have more value for Roberto, which is an incentive for Ben to turn the cube, because now his gammons are worth a lot, and Roberto's gammons would be worth nothing. So this is a fun score. Their take points are both about the same, about 25%. Actually, 25 and Roberto's take point is 26%. And you need to just memorize that. It's simple.
Now, Amy in the chat says Ben has never won a tournament. Is that correct?
I don't know. I know Roberto has. What I love is Roberto. We had a special tournament. I invented a game called Pasco Gammon, and we had a Pasco Gammon tournament in LA, and the winner played Pasco, and Roberto won the tournament and beat Pasco. So that shows he's very clever and smart, not just in standard backgammon. He's a very sharp guy, because both these guys are. I've never met a dumb, good backgammon player.
Both players, little time on the clock. If he anchors up again, it could turn into a drawn-out back game looking into the future, which would make clock pressure even bigger.
I make the bar. Ooh, hit 2? I hit 2.
So does he.
Good play. I'm sure it's a good play, because I would have done it. We were watching Speed Game, which was not their original intent.
Unintentional speed gammon.
And by the way, you know, I'm a backgammon teacher. I actually have a course on clock management. And you're not supposed to let your clock get this low towards the end. You're supposed to save, because at the end, everything you do is much more critical.
That is a class I should attend. 3-2. And here he is. He could be going into a drawn-out back game with no time on the clock.
Oh, that's so much fun. That's so much fun. I can't. This is great. Playing a super back game with no time on the clock. It's hard to defend. It's hard to play. This is easy to play. Double hit. Come on, do it. Do it. Do it. Yeah, sure. That's easy. That's
Can't
a
think about
no-brainer.
it. Do it. Hey,
2 on the bar is better by far.
hey, do it. Do it. All right, you could make the
1 in the air. I
triple
don't
anchor.
care.
He will again, or maybe he'll step up not trying to do that, but he doesn't. And he hits.
I like
That's
this
it.
play.
Keeping it pure.
Oh, is this going to be fun to see this played fast? I love it. You hit him, even though you're giving him more timing. At this point, you say, I'm going to overtime him. So when your opponent has a big, strong, deep back game, you don't want to time them. But once you can't help the timing, you overtime them by hitting them too much so that they don't have any ammunition on the other side of the board. And that's about all that Roberto could do, is just keep hitting him. I like this play. I like that play a lot. Much easier to time a 3-4 game than it is the 1-2 or the 2-3. You only need to be down about 70 pips to have good timing instead of 100. How do I know? John O'Hagan told me so. Oh my God, we got a great game here. Oh, double twos. I'm up and just play 6-4.
64, I agree.
Just keeping it pure.
I would have played 6-4. I wasn't kidding.
Well, he could hit a
It
couple
was a
more
terrible
here.
play, but I love it.
You're talking about overhitting.
I would overhit him. Hit him twice.
Wow, 45 seconds, 35 seconds.
See what's going to happen now with by overtiming him. He's going to have to crash. Of course, he's smart to hold that outside point as long as he can. That's his last bastion of hope.
Both players remaining calm on the outside. You can see their eyes darting around the board. Their brains have just got to be working frantically, trying to anticipate what could happen so they don't have to think about it when it does.
Good point. Anticipation is a big, big part of this game. Think about what you are going to do. Hitting off the ace is usually wrong, but maybe he was forced there. It's one of my no-nos when I'm defending a back game is to hit him off the ace, but it is all about timing.
Wow, dances on the 2-point board. Doesn't really matter, though.
Whoa.
I don't try to play that game. I would have come up. I'd stay with the 3-4 game and not try and play the ace game too.
He's got a great game.
What do you
Ooh,
think
that 5 is good.
do you-
Yeah, this is my play.
what do you think the winning chances for each player are here about now?
Oh, they're 100% for one of them. Why would you put me on the spot like that?
I don't
That's
know.
probably one of
'Cause
the
you know more-
hardest questions anybody's ever asked me.
Because you know more than me, so I figured you would.
Oh, I think the winning chances are in the 40s for Ben.
I think.
But
that's
what
a
are the
good answer.
gammon chances? Actually, it's 42.5%.
Now, as Ben here, are you not thinking about maybe turning the cube since you are so far back? You could think if I'm losing, I might lose a gammon anyway. So why not go for it? Or is that not
Well,
a correct way of thinking?
it's not the correct way at a point where you know your opponent isn't going to pass. If there's no market loser, you never think about turning the cube. So your thinking is really advanced and very good. There is a point at which Ben might cube, even though he's in the back game. But I wait until I get the double shot, then put some pressure on him. But there's no way in hell the guy's going to pass. You never double. But you're anticipating what we might see later on.
Roberto's starting to bring it home now.
He's got to hit again.
No need.
He's got to hit. He wants to get hit back and close the timing.
Yep.
He'd like to get hit back off the ace.
Oh,
The
doesn't even
see
come
that
in.
checker on the ace that Roberto has is a major liability for him.
Still has it on the ace, but he gets to clear a point.
Yeah. I like Ben's game. This is a great game.
Wow.
I guarantee you the PRs in this game are not going to be great, but you can't fault anybody for having bad PR in any back game, but especially when you have no time on the clock.
Wow. Still has. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. He's not on the roof anymore.
XG had no bad PR back.
Right. Ben, yeah.
Could be a shot coming up.
Blake pointed out XG doesn't even play back
roll.
games perfectly. It's getting better though.
Oh, that's not the shot. Roberto only 2 points to clear.
Now Roberto's going to have a bunch of checkers off before Ben gets that double shot, and that's why you might not see that situation you mentioned, Josh, where Ben might be doubling.
A 3
from
would
back
do it.
game.
No.
The other thing is Ben's got to make his 4-point to have an effective cube. Ben's focus has to be making that 4-point.
Make a slightly better prime.
And
Any three other than a
slotted.
4-3 leaves a shot, I think, or 3-1 wouldn't, I guess. There's the shot. No shot? Wait,
Not
what
if you-
happened? Oh, he took it off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you
I'm
play
sorry.
it right,
I'm sorry.
there's no shot.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you could just peel it off. If you play it legally, there's no shot.
Play it right.
Yeah.
Now there's a shot.
That's what I meant.
And it's not clearly not a double with 11 shots. He'd need the double shot to think about doubling.
Doesn't get it.
But he's gonna get Gammon.
Wow.
If missing the shot means you get gammon, then you do double. That's the whole idea. Now, if he gets a double shot, ooh,
Who gives a
funny
shot?
roll. All right. Oh,
Oh,
great
he's
roll.
ready.
Now, if he gets a double shot,
Yes, sir.
There it
there
is.
it is. It's still not a double because you don't win the game all the time after you hit.
He's going to take at least 9 seconds to think about it. Yeah, he's going to look at his face. Ben is just,
You know what? If you miss a shot, you probably gammon. It wouldn't be a bad double. You're going to get gammoned if you miss.
here it goes.
All right, I love it.
Boom.
Josh, you're a genius to think about this scenario.
was-
It's good for you. You thought about this way long ago.
What are you talking
Clear take.
about?
Clear take.
Takes it. Ben
29
standing up.
20
He's
numbers hit.
standing up.
And
He
he hit.
hits it.
Like, I mean, I know you
And
love
now,
me,
oh, no,
but
no, no. I would have made bad
I'm
ones.
waiting after I hit.
I would have come off the 4 points. So if he rolls a 2-1, you get another checker.
He'll probably think about that on the next roll. There he
did.
goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he didn't. If he had more time, he would have thought of that.
So whatever I say
You want to vacate that point, so if he rolls a 2-1, you can get another checker.
I thought there was a
Now you vacate the 3-point to make bad twos also.
So do I want to get
Why not?
Why not? What do you got to lose? Hey, do it. No, he's not doing it.
I would have come off the 3-point. Now he
Wow.
wants to make his prime first and then get that second checker. That's it. Slot that. That's good. Make the 6 prime, then you go for the second
Is
checker.
Ray Fogelin in the
you-
room? No, doesn't throw it.
You leave shots on the inner board.
Okay, now,
Yeah, now it's forced.
no, the one. The one.
It's rare when you need them. It'll actually take half a count.
All right, that's not too. Actually, he didn't want to come in. Makes the prime.
Wow.
Makes the prime now. Any 1 or 2 leaves another checker. Oh, if Ben gets the second checker, he becomes the favorite.
That leaves 2 checkers. What about the third checker?
Oh my God! All he has to do is hit one of them to become a favorite in this game. All right, close the board.
Wow. Likely
I'm not sure
going-
you're right to close it. I'm not sure it wasn't right to leave a blot there. In case you didn't pick up the other checker. You only need 2, Ben. Take it.
Why wouldn't I? Why do I need
Take
Don't
it.
be greedy.
Take
Take
it.
your checker.
Take it, Ben.
30 seconds. Well, don't think about it. You still have to play another game. 27 seconds. You are wasting time. There you go.
Hit the clock.
Wow. 2 away. Crawford coming up most likely with no time, very little time.
All right, let me give you a reference position. 2 on the bar and 2 on the ace is a bare pass in for money. So he's got 3 on the ace plus that extra checker, which means that Ben's a big favorite.
Oh, adrenaline has got to be flowing through their veins at this point.
to bring 2 in and you've only got
No, you're a big favorite. You don't need to peel here. Don't leave a shot.
I don't think I do, but
Play it safe.
He heard you. Bro could still come back from this with big doubles.
It can happen. It ain't over. It ain't for sure. When I say you're a big favorite and your opponent has maybe 15%, 15% still a lot in backgammon.
That's a lot. Yeah,
Now you gotta like Ben's position a lot here.
unless you're Roberto.
It is a zero-sum game. Everything that makes somebody happy makes somebody else unhappy.
I want a backgammon shirt that says, your pain is my pleasure.
That might be the definition of the word backgammon. Don't use up your clock on this. You got more games to play.
Wow.
You might
Possibly even 2 more
you
games.
could have 2 more games to play. That's right.
All right.
If I roll 2-1,
Give up.
Yeah, this is
2-1,
this is
2-1.
Jan.
there we go.
That's it. That's it. Okay.
Here we go. Wow. What a comeback.
How'd you
8
like
to
that double
7.
bite? Who in the world would even think of doubling there?
I almost did in LA once.
Aside from Josh and Ben. Very nice.
You know,
Josh, I'm impressed
I was
that
entertaining
you
the
even
audience.
came up with that idea.
Crap, I'm out of
And I
time.
think you did it at the right time.
What idea?
Yeah, what idea?
Oh.
True entertainer.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Wow.
it's 1 away, 2 away, Crawford.
I don't want.
This is pure gammon go, gammon save.
That's
Because if Roberto wins the gammon, he wins the match.
especially
And if Ben wins the gammon, it doesn't mean a damn thing. So Roberto is going to slot with an opening 4-1, 5-1, 2-1. He's going to come down with 2. Like he would come down with 2. Ben should split.
I guess it's
No. Ben,
That's a weird one.
gammon save is you try to make your opponent's golden point. I've never seen that play. That's a DMP play.
well.
Well, when you have 20 seconds on the clock, maybe you make some plays like that. I know Ben knows better. It's not a big error to go to run though at all.
I sure am.
Thanks for that tip.
Yeah.
I think I can see Ben's heart pounding in his chest.
Wait, if you're trying to
They're both smiling. They're both having a ball.
I'm trying to get
This is a hit.
what's the best
A hit, or you make your 5-point and 3-point. I'm hitting. Gammon go. You hit. If it wasn't gammon go, there might be some good logic to those other plays.
Oh, solid
This
roll.
is the perfect gammon save situation
good play?
for Ben.
Play.
You don't get gammon very much holding your opponents. Look at him.
Oh, Ben rubbing his hands together. He's
Yeah,
getting all
happy.
giddy.
He's thrilled he made that point, and he should be.
And his palms are probably extremely sweaty.
He should be. He might lose the game, but he ain't gonna get gammon.
Not leaving me a shot right now, so I think I will.
How exciting is this?
Dictate what you're doing. I'm like, if you want to hit right now,
I like this. Keeps the checkers in play. You have more builders for the 7-point, which is what you'd like to make here.
Like the better.
You don't care about
Don't
making
think.
the 4-point.
KG comes up and was like, want to wrestle? It's like, I want to wrestle, bitch.
No, I don't want to.
22 seconds on Ben's clock. 32 for Roberto.
Oh, speaking of wrestling.
Big
Double
roll.
sixes is
Big
huge.
roll.
We might be going to
Hopefully I don't get G'd from
DMP.
Yeah, Roberto's a big favorite here. There's not a lot of situations where you leave shots here, and without the shot, there isn't much chance for Ben to win this game.
Carol, I decided I didn't have
Clear
enough
from the
time
rear.
last match, so I made sure I had
What's
at
the
least
point of
20
making the
seconds.
4-point when all you care about is bringing those checkers home?
Dude, I said I wanted a half carol, but I didn't get it. It would have become a thing if I did.
Clear from the rear. You don't roll the 3, and you just clear that 8-point automatically.
So he was gonna tell you you're low on time.
Oh, shit.
My palms are getting sweaty. I'm not even playing.
That's the right play. Otherwise, you could leave a shot with double sixes if you left it out there.
Right?
So you don't leave a shot with anything here.
I don't think it's possible.
And you don't roll a 3, and you clear from the rear. And he kept it even, so those double sixes and double 5s don't hurt him.
Am I
I
ever?
like that play a lot.
I don't think so. DSU double one.
Very nice plays for playing this fast, too. They're playing right, and they're playing super fast.
Kind of like being
There
in
it
the
is.
flow state.
There it is.
I still don't want to give you double one.
Oh, he's ready for double 5s, double 6s.
The good news is this is a fairly simple, easy game to
Oh.
play for both of them. Take one checker off. When in doubt, take them out. So Roberto knows he's not likely to get gammon, so all he had to do is just play safe and bring him in, and you'll be at double match point, DMP, where gammons don't matter. All you just play to win the game. That's what's going to happen after this game.
Talk bad to him. But if you bitch, sometimes you get your way.
So close.
Ben's still smiling and laughing. I admire him for that.
Yeah. So, Josh, next game's going to be DMP. What's your strategy at DMP?
I'm trying to win
Yeah.
in most situations.
Is there a different? Is there a special strategy for DMP though?
Probably.
It's called racing.
Bruce Banner.
You
And,
start out the
Avengers
game
My
trying to
Secret.
simply win a race. You don't care about priming or blocking, and you try to win the race. And if you get behind in the race, then you think about blocking or hitting. But number one, you start out every DMP game trying to win a race. So
Thank-
6-4, 6-3, you just race.
Thank you.
6-2.
I did not know that. That's
Well, now you know it.
yeah. This has been
Now you
educational.
know it.
I
I
like
might
that.
even be right.
I think I have to have.
Oh, the dive. Yeah, I actually did not know that.
Oh, and it's fallen over.
It's one thing that I need to
Well, you
get better at is
I
learning
charge
different
$300
strategies.
an hour for lessons. You just owed me. I think that was
Well,
$8 worth.
That was 8. That was only really 20 seconds. Here we go.
All right.
Wow.
Change the scoreboard 8-8. That's a good time for a break. I need a break.
Don't be late. You might miss it all.
Okay, I'll take this time to again thank Chris Lloyd for donating the board, sponsoring the tournament. You can see the Chris Lloyd board. There's one thing I don't like about Chris Lloyd boards, and that's that they last forever. You never get to buy a new board when you get a Chris Lloyd board. You might have to replace the surface, the cork surface. So this one's a painted cork surface. Is this not cork?
No, it's their new fancy
Oh,
felt.
he's put on some felt, and he's done some innovations since Jason Briggs bought the company a few years ago. You know, their biggest business is mahjong. They also make mahjong hand painted mahjong tiles, and they can't keep up with demand. The mahjong is booming almost as fast, maybe as fast as backgammon is booming. He's in the right place at the right time. That guy was born with a silver spoon. Josh, have you met Jason Briggs?
I haven't. No, Jason Briggs, the actor. No, I'm
No,
thinking of
it's Jason
Biggs.
This
I
is
met Jason Biggs.
Yeah.
I have not met Jason Briggs. I met the actor.
He owns Chris Lloyd boards, and he buys it. And as he buys it, backgammon and mahjong, boom, like crazy. And I would like to thank the Backgammon Learning Center for donating that wonderful baffle box and scoreboard. And I want to thank the
Baffle box.
Horton family for their great job in running this tournament. What were you going to say?
I was going to say the baffle box looks incredibly well constructed. I'm wondering, you said it was your 13th baffle box design. I'm wondering, why did it take you so many designs to finally get it right?
Well, you know, that baffle box is not cheap. It's $77. There's a lot of good baffle boxes out there you can get for 30 and 40 bucks, but they break, and some of them are very loud, and they don't toss the dice right. So this is for people who really care about getting it right. And you knock this one on the floor, it's not going to break. It might break if you drop it real hard, but you know, baffle boxes get knocked over a lot. This one's more sturdy, has a wider opening, quiet baffles, and the dice don't stick in it as much as a lot of other boxes. So it took me a long time to get all that combination. Plus, with magnets, it comes apart so it can fit in your board, and you don't have to carry it separately, which I think is a big plus. And my first baffle boxes were made out of wood, and they were intricate to put together, almost like doing a jigsaw puzzle. I still have a couple of those. In fact, I want to bet Ed O'Loughlin had 15 minutes to put together one of my baffle boxes, and he lost the bet. It was that hard. But this is easy. It's all done for you. And also, this comes with adjustable little screws and doohickeys on the bottom, so you can fit it into any board.
That is huge.
Or you can take them off completely, which is what they've done here to make it flat. So I think it's a wonderful baffle box. I've had a lot of fun designing them over the years. I'm sure I'm going to come up with 14 soon. By the way, this one has been improved 3 times since the first time I made it. I've got quieter baffles, I've got a wider opening, and I've got better magnets. So the first one I made wasn't that good either. So they keep getting better and better.
Why shouldn't we wait for version 15?
Hmm?
Why shouldn't we wait for version 15?
Yeah, you should wait for version 15. Like, don't buy a new car because there'll be a better one next year. I'm slow.
Do you have a museum at home with every iteration
No, I wish
of
I
the
had
baffle
it.
boxes?
I have pictures of them though. In my iPhone, I'll show you a picture of a baffle box that was made in the 14th century. It's actually a dice roller
Oh, I
made
would
out of
like to see
metal.
that. I don't know if you've seen the fourth Alien movie, but there's a scene where you see all the genetic mutations over the years. So I'm wondering if it's similar to that.
Richard Batten sent me a note. Jason didn't buy the whole Chris Lloyd company. He bought half of it with the previous owner. They're 50-50. Good point. Jason's done a lot of marketing though. You can hardly walk into a private club anywhere in New York or Florida and not see Chris Lloyd boards. And they're very well made again.
Wow, what is that?
That's
Supposedly from the
14th or 15th century dice roller with Greek lettering, and I have to tell you that design isn't real far from what I've got.
Is that actually a thing?
Yeah, it's in a museum. This is I forget which museum it's in, but this is a real baffle box that's in a museum.
I'm inclined in this day and age of, oh, that's fake, that's AI, whatever. It looks too much. I don't know if you folks can see this. This is how old then?
I think it's 14th century or 15th century.
Let's put this. This is unbelievable.
It's a real thing. It's not something made up by AI or me. It's in a museum.
Wow. So you're saying it's taken thousands of years.
Yeah, and look how close it is to my design. So, who knows?
Now, is that from a backgammon
No,
set? Or
no,
they were
that was
using
just a
different
dice roller
dice?
for a game that was played.
Wow. And that could be real. The dice are made out of bone.
No, it was
Possibly.
made out of metal.
No, the dice
Tin.
themselves.
Oh, the dice. Yeah, the dice were definitely made out of bones. And they were not precision dice. And by the way, we are playing strictly with precision dice. What does that mean? You'll notice that the dice numbers are painted on. They're not drilled into the dice with holes. Let's say you have a set of dice that's drilled. That's what most people have. You drill 6 holes into one side and you drill 1 hole into the opposite side. Which side do you think is heavier? Obviously, the side with the 1 is heavier, and if those dice, you're going to roll more 6s. With these dice, they're going to be the same number of 6s as there are 1s. So that's one reason that they're precision. Another reason they're precision is they have been tested. Supposedly, before the rounded corners were put on, they were tested. But here's the thing that most people don't know. They're tested as absolutely precision dice when they're perfectly square, just like you see at a casino in Vegas. Then they round off the corners by grinding each corner, and then they're not tested again. And the grinding is never exactly perfect. So when we started the P40 board company, of which I helped start and was partner, the founder, Tom Buckner, wanted to make sure that his dice were truly precision. So he bought hundreds of these dice that were considered to be precision, and he had people take them home and roll them thousands of times and record all the rolls. And we found out that there were no dice that were absolutely perfect. Some of them, almost every dice rolled a little bit, a few more 3s or a few more 6s, but not enough to really matter most of the time. And as long as you keep mixing the dice and you don't know, you're okay. But there are no true precision dice.
Right.
So half the time's cubed.
Right. Probably
That's interesting. I did not know that. I didn't know they didn't measure them after they.
Yeah, and
One
one of
would
the
think the
advantages,
opposite.
now they're playing with one set of
There you
dice
go.
instead of 2. One of the advantages is if you have a dice that's a little bit rolling a few more 5s or 6s, at least it affects both players equally.
Oh, now it gets tough.
No,
No, DMP.
Did you turn that off,
don't
Sis?
touch your back check without the double top. That's just
It's not.
No, you're not
exception.
Oh, he's got it. Sorry, we had a little distraction. Here we go. DMP match. Someone in the chat has said this amount of time is plenty for DMP. You're right. It is plenty, and it is still has to put a lot of pressure on them.
I don't
to
think it's plenty at all.
Yeah, I
there's
would not
plenty
be
of-
comfortable.
There's lots of difficult positions to be made in a 1-point match, and and the whole match is on the line. This is terrible amount of time for them. I don't think it's plenty at all.
Lots of stress.
I guarantee you their PRs will be worse than they would if they had more time.
Out. Oh, comes in. That double five is absolutely huge. Comes in, hits twice, and improves his board.
Okay. There's a reason we're 4-1.
And now looking to close, gets his 5-point made. Could step up with the extra checker, brings it in.
I like that step up. Yes. Good point, Josh. Step up was a great
Roberto
idea.
needs to come in right now. He doesn't. He had such a strong start.
I would come down. A lot more shots by coming out, so come down. Look at the clock.
19 seconds, 18. What are you thinking about? Yeah, come on down. Bring another builder for the 4-point. Probably doesn't want Ben. Don't time out. Finally hits it 10 seconds on his clock now.
Ooh,
Oh, double four is also big. Doesn't get to hit,
run it.
but still
Run
a
it, baby.
great roll. Roberto has a little more time, 30 seconds. Oh, safety's everything. That's pretty nice. Yeah, don't start thinking about stuff. Yeah, no, look at his, I don't know if his fingers are shaking or he's tapping or he's.
So Ben's a big favorite right now, but there's lots of rolls that leave shots. This is not an easy one to bring home without leaving shots.
Level 5152 doesn't get it. That's still safe. Double fives would be enormous for Ben right now. Roberto double ones.
Slot your 5, come down. Let's go.
What an
He's thinking about
incredible match.
leaving it outside to save 6s. I like that.
Did that go through?
I think so. I don't look at that.
5-3. He's got to leave something. He
Go to
doesn't
the
have
ace.
to leave
Go to
something.
the
Go
ace.
to the ace.
Go the ace.
That's nice to say. But he does have 2 blots in his home board. If he had more time to think about it, which he doesn't, he has 8 seconds. Double ones. That's fine. He'll strengthen his board.
Big roll here.
He's got to play it
Yeah, you
safe.
play
Got to
safe.
play it
Play
safe.
safe. Your opponent doesn't
Play
have any
it safe
time.
with 1 second. Don't get caught up. Well, maybe not
And,
that
I
safe.
would have played them both to the 3-point, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
that was a little too safe.
I leave a shot. I leave one.
Oh, you make you
No,
could
no,
just
no, no.
complete your board
No, I would have left one on the 13.
on the ace. Yeah.
I would've
Oh,
left
that's
one on
pretty
the
big.
13.
What are you thinking about? Oh, he wants to block him in, and don't do
No,
that.
No. Just
Don't
make
do
the
that.
point.
There you
Make the
go.
point.
The tension is incredible. Off the board, quickly hits the clock. 6.7 seconds left for Ben. He just wants to get into a bear-off position so he doesn't have time pressure anymore. That's going to leave a shot.
Is there a play B? Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Come on.
Do it.
15
Hit
shots.
the clock.
You're stressing people out.
Hit the clock.
You're 6, 5, 4, 5.3. Plenty
He
of
hits
time
it.
has been
He
said.
hits him.
Gets the hit.
Woo!
Gets the hit.
Bring it closer. You get more covers.
You don't want to pick up and clear. 29 seconds seems like an eternity compared to Ben's 5.
Oh my God! Did this game just swing?
Oh, the intensity on Ben's face right now has changed. He had it in the bag, and now he's looking at it going the other way. Roberto seems cool under
You want a
pressure.
direct cover. You
20
want a direct cover. Come closer. Oh, that's a great play. You get more covers that way.
22 seconds.
I think it
doesn't
might have
do
been right to come off the 6.
Oh, it is massive.
Oh, the roll of the match.
And Ben can
That was
probably
the roll of the match.
breathe a little easier now, a lot
Oh.
easier. Wow, and gets
Wow,
another
it's
one.
Right.
Gets another checker. What are you thinking about it? Stop thinking. Good Lord, Ben, what are you doing?
Ben, there's only
5
one way you're going to lose
seconds.
this game.
4.3.
4 seconds left.
Wow, Roberto.
He might make a
had it.
mistake in the barrel. I
Bad.
guarantee he will with 4 seconds.
The biggest mistake would be timing out. That would
Come
be
in
the
with the
worst.
5,
feeling.
come off the 6. And come off the 6.
You cannot stop to think. What are you doing?
That's it.
3.4 seconds. This is insane.
Is he doing this on purpose?
I think he's just trying to make us
I think-
crazy.
He's just trying to make us crazy.
Oh
Nope,
no,
5
that's
comes
illegal.
in. 5
Ben
comes
hit the
in.
clock immediately. Don't waste my time.
Woo!
Does Does not leave a shot yet. He's got lots of bad
There's
numbers.
a lot of bad numbers. There are.
And he just cannot stop to
Ones
think.
and fours are really not good. Ones and fours,
Oh,
not those
two
ones.
of them.
Hit both. Hit both. Yes, get him off the low
Don't
point.
you dare think
That's
about
it.
this.
Let's think about it.
That's
Don't
it.
you dare think about this.
Whew. Good play. You want him off the low point because you're less likely to leave a shot. There it is. There it is.
You can think about this play or you're going
You
to
take
lose.
2 off the 5 point quickly. That's more shots, but fewer repeaters. That might be right.
Oh, gets one out. Doesn't get the hit. He
Oh,
might leave
same
another
number of
shot
shots,
right
right,
here.
right.
2 o'clock p.m.
Does not leave a shot.
Oh,
Bullshit.
Wow.
Bullshit.
that double hit off the bar for Ben was the roll of
He's
the
got 8
the
bad
roll of
rolls
the
right
match.
now. No, more than that with doubles. Sorry.
Okay.
That's one of them. Here we
finish shot.
go.
More drama. Come on. 3 is the whole thing.
Last call.
Oh.
final call.
Doesn't hit.
That's the
That's
match.
gonna
That's
do
the
it.
match. That's the match.
Wow.
Oh, my
What an
God.
unbelievable finish to
You-
this match.
Tell me another sport or game that has this kind of excitement. You can't convince me anything else is more fun than backgammon.
Ice hockey?
Ice hockey. I love ice hockey. Both my kids played college.
It's Jen. I'm allowed to claim.
Certainly not tiddlywinks. Wow, what an incredible, incredible match.
He gave up, so it's over.
Ben Friesen walking away with it with 3.4 seconds on his clock.
If I were Roberto, I would just time out here so I wouldn't lose.
I do.
Roberto maybe just trying to get decisions for
Just to make it
For
clear. that I
BMAB,
for yeah,
he's going to time out.
that would be
Only a
worse.
friend would do that.
Is that worse?
That is worse.
Yeah.